Coach, you guys obviously started, the last game strong. What do you think kind of happened after that to lead to some inconsistent results?
Really, it was just not sustaining drives. One thing that we had done really well the first two games was, convert on third downs. I think we were at like 55, 56%. And then the other night we just had we had critical breakdowns on about 6 or 7 third downs, whether it was an alignment issue, false start down there tight, going in to score. And we had a culmination of those type of things that, when you don't get a bunch of plays in the game, you gotta convert on those third downs. And we didn't do that the other night, and that's ultimately what led to us, having some inconsistencies of just not executing, not doing our job in critical situations.
And were you watching? It seemed like it was kind of maybe quarterback missed a play or running back here or O-line there. It was just one little thing on every play.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. Going back and watching it again, you just felt like I didn't feel like we were playing bad. It was just when we got to those critical situations where whether it was a third and medium, third and long type deal, it was felt like one guy on every time didn't do his job or wasn't lined up in the right spot. And that's us on us as coaches, making sure that we're getting enough reps at certain things. But also there's accountability with the kids too. They know that what their job is and they got to go do it. So it's a culmination of everything. But yeah, that's what it felt like going back and watching it again.
You see Jake grow up a little bit in that game, and he had the late pick, which really hurt. But during the game, it seemed like he was, he'd come up a level. Yeah, he was calm, cool, collected the whole time, which is how he's always been. I thought he played really well. I thought he made great decisions. Everybody's looking at the interception, and it's one of those deals. The kid made a nice play. He fell off a deep post, and I've seen Jackson Dart throw that interception. I've seen Matt Corral throw that interception on a deep over route that we're trying to throw. And so it's unfortunate for a game that I thought he played really well, made good decisions. He's got to protect the ball a little better, when things break down in the backfield. But for the most part, I thought he was really clean.
When things do break down and there's a scramble drill type of thing, how's Jake doing there, and how much do you guys work on that part of it?
Yeah, we work it every day in individual. Anytime that we're working pocket movement type stuff, somebody's banging at the ball because you're going to have guys around you. As good as we're protecting right now, for the most part, you're going to have guys swiping at the ball, and the ball is the program, and we got to die with the ball. And so when guys get around us, he's got to protect. He's got to keep 2 hands on it. There's just a couple times he got loose the other night, and the ball popped out, and luckily he was able to fall right on it. But it's something that he's done a great job with, but we got to continue to work it because it's going to continue to come up in games.
How about as far as him and the receivers go when a play kind of breaks down? That connection right there?
Yeah, we work scramble drill all the time. Anytime if they ever cover us up in a skelly period, it's immediately goes into scramble drill. So people have direct assignments of where you're at based on the field, what you should do next, and it's something that you work all during spring ball or during fall camp. And I don't feel like we've had a ton of those situations in games yet, but they'll come up as we go.
Liberty, watching them, they seem to disguise some things and also play a lot of man cover. So what do you see from them on tape?
Yeah, they're going to challenge you, that's for sure. And they're going to come up and play man covers. They've shown that. I think they're really good up front. I think they're deep up front. They're gonna put their guys in situations to go make plays, and it's a challenge to our guys that you got to go win your one-on-ones, and whether that's out on the edge or up front, they're gonna put our backs in situations where they got to protect and pass pro. But the thing about them is, they're very sound fundamentally in what they do schematically. But for those guys, they're used to winning, and they've done it the last couple of years, and so it's a group that's played a lot of ball together, but one that's had a ton of success too.
The receivers, when they know they're going to get some man, don't you kind of have to challenge them, say, hey, go win one-on-one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. It's it's just the same. Like if you're going into a game, getting a light box, you kind of put it on the O-line and those guys up front. But for us, we got to be able to run the ball. We got to be able to throw the ball. But for sure, anytime our receivers get matched up in man-to-man, it's a challenge to them. They got to go win.
the kid's their free safety, I guess. He was actually a former center fielder at Liberty. He kind of plays a center field role back there. You had to say anything extra to Jake this week about, not kind of staring guys down because he is such a ball hawk back there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's shown on tape multiple times that he's gotten a couple of guys this season. Got the guy from Campbell once, got the guy from UTEP once. That if you're not disciplined with your eyes and putting them in the right spot, he'll make you pay. I mean, he's got 2 interceptions. One of them got called on a PI by the corner. But that guy, he does a good job. He's like you said, he plays center field back there, and we got to do a good job of moving them with our eyes and making sure we're being disciplined in what we're doing.
How do you address the drops? I mean, that hadn't been a huge problem, but we saw a few. What do you say about those?
Catch the ball. No, I mean, it is what it is. Like you said, it hasn't been an issue. I feel like since we've been here, all spring, fall camp, caught the ball well. And there was a couple of them that, it was a bang play. It was DB did a good job getting his hand in there, but Coach Roberts would tell you the exact same. Like if we get our hands on it, we got to catch the ball. And there's throws we missed, there's balls we dropped, there's pass pros we didn't pick up. It was a lot of different things that at the end of the day we just didn't execute at a high enough level to win the football game. And it's frustrating because I know the potential is there and we can. But we got to go put it together for four quarters yet, and we haven't yet. We haven't done that in the game, and that's it's frustrating at one sense, but it's also exciting because I know and still believe in the potential of our guys, and our guys do too, and they're frustrated too. And so I'm excited for when they click, it'll click and it'll look how we want it to look.
One factor that I'm sure is tempo. Great start this last Saturday, but does it get a little hard to sustain that for 4 quarters when you aren't going so fast and just kind of not as much time in between snaps?
No, I mean, we're used to it. We're built for it. We do it every day in practice. There are certain situations, though, where, whether it's a dead ball situation or a 3rd down deal where we need to slow it down and make sure we're getting the right personnel or the right play. But no, it's something that, if we're snapping the ball, we're trying to do it, at a good clip. And so I don't think that's an issue for us as far as just sustaining it. We've done it ever since we've been here. It's the first thing we talk about.
Chase, in particular, has had a bit of an up and down start after missing a lot of time. If y'all had to kind of say anything to him, pick him up a little bit?
No, I mean I say he's a younger guy, but he's played ball. He played a lot last year, and so it's just him just kind of recentering and just again, I think kind of a little bit how it was ODU. He's just maybe trying to do a little too much because he wants it, and like all of our guys do. They all want to do well. They all want to be successful, but just understanding like what you are is enough. Like Chase Sowell has enough talent to just go out and do his job and execute, and just not trying to do too much and just having him settling in, just like everybody else, just settling into this deal and getting a feel for just game by game how to play.
That was one couple and one particular Chase where he had his hands on it, but it came in about 100 miles an hour. Do you have to tell Jake to maybe throw a change up instead of a fastball sometimes?
No, we grip it and rip it. That's the game plan for him. So no, we got to put the ball in a little better spot. But if like I said earlier, if the ball is near those guys and Coach Roberts, he would echo my same sentiments. Like if that ball is in the area, we got to catch it.
Are you pretty happy with the personnel, like rotation-wise, 3 games in? How do you kind of feel about that?
No, it's been good. I think this last game, we didn't do as good a job as we had the first 2 as far as rotating guys as it got later in the game. And part of that was just because of the lack of snap count. The snap count hadn't got real high, but still, we had a couple of long drives early in the game where it kind of, I think it wore some guys out where we could have done a better job subbing. And getting some guys in the game. And we got guys that deserve to play more. And so I think we got to do a better job with that because, hopefully moving forward, whatever we had the other night, 58, 59 snaps, that's the least amount we have all season. So as we play more snaps in the game, we've got to get some other guys more snaps.